Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning. I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined, as always, by my friend, White Sox lover, Skittles eater.
Now I'm a mouthful of Skittles right now. It's so good.
Toffee chewer honor.
Laffy Taffy.
Laffy Taffy chewer
Green,
honor.
green only. Reds, oranges are not orange. Pinks are okay. I'll suck a fucking dick before I eat a banana Laffy Taffy. Fuck that.
Won't we all?
Brother.
Candy connoisseur, Zane Riley.
How you doing, Jake?
Good. Good, how are you? You want me to keep talking while you finish eating these Skittles?
You could, but I could also ask you, what kind of shoes do mice wear?
See, I'm always bad at these, like, short little jokes. Like, because my brain doesn't fucking work this way.
Squeakers.
I can't.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of here.
Welcome to our new podcast, Reading Laffy Taffy Packets.
The fucking door's over there.
Yeah,
it's unlocked.
I'm show myself out.
Show yourself out and lock the fucking door behind you.
Get a key made from my house. Come back, lock yourself out. I'm good, Jake. How are you?
Good. Once again, thank you to everybody who's been writing reviews on all our iTunes and Stitcher. Like I said, I always make it a priority to put this right at the top of the show because you fans have been making it a priority to write reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. We're actually recording back-to-back episodes.
Yep.
So it's the same people that I mentioned last week, but if you have written a review in between our episode where we talk about Night of the Legends 2 and then this episode, don't worry, I'll get you on the next one. But guess what? Those people that wrote from before, you are still sitting on top as of the moment of the recording of this episode. Which
of an hour and a half after you were before.
After an hour and a half you were, you're still sitting on top of the poll. Sponge Cake 7, you are sitting on top of the poll at Stitcher and iTunes. Sean D. Pasquale, I appreciate you. I know that I've sent my shirt out to you because I sent it to you mere minutes ago, which would have now be a couple weeks ago. So just letting you know how the
Hopefully you're wearing it while you listen.
Hopefully by now you have got it. You are wearing it. You are enjoying your How Did This Get Booked t-shirt. And if you're like, hey, I want to enjoy my How Did This Get Booked t-shirt, all you have to do is write a review on iTunes or Stitcher, and then get up with me on Twitter, Instagram, the How Did This Get Booked Facebook page, my email, however, and maybe give me a follow on Instagram or Twitter so you can DM me your shirt size and your mailing address, and I will mail it right out to you. Right now, it is not a bother right now. I'm gladly still doing this offer. I have people all the time going, hey, is this offer still valid? Yes, it is. It is not an annoyance. I just ask that you have a little bit of patience on when I mail out the shirts because sometimes I get that email while I'm on the road, so it takes a little time for me to get back into the office and mail those shirts out. Like I said, I just mailed out 3 of them today, and hopefully by the time this podcast comes out, I would be mailing out many, many more. So I appreciate everybody's writing a review. You guys have taken it and made it a priority. That's why I'm making it a priority to say everybody's names and make it at the top of this podcast and not at the end like it has been. And ever since then, you guys have done it. You've hit it on the park. So I appreciate all that love. Just continue to download, subscribe, and leave reviews. I don't know how quite to start this episode because this is.
Do you have cancer?
No. This episode's a long time coming. This
I feel that we're building it up already too much.
No, we're building up in a proper amount because we've been sometimes doing this podcast it becomes very challenging, especially when we have to watch a 3.5 hour WWE pay-per-view.
And as some people kind of know our MO and know that you only announced me and we don't have another comedian.
Yes.
Usually it's just wrestling and pop culture, as in movies and TV shows.
Yes, that's usually if it's just me and Zane, we're talking about pro wrestling and pop culture. And this one has been kind of sitting in the back of my mind, and I was kind of right before we were going to record our last episode. I'm like, hey, do you want to do this? And I sent you a non-discreet
just a blurb
YouTube link for something that I knew that existed, and I feel it's appropriate that we cover it on this podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, let's get ahead a little bit. Let's go ahead and let's talk about this one. And
the show's a fucking layup. Like, this is gonna be.
Oh yeah.
We have to build it up so much because the material that we have is so small.
Oh yeah. For sure. Like, they didn't put a lot of work in creating the content that we are discussing today. But notoriously so.
Yeah.
They were all about the sizzle. And basically what we are talking about today is...
This is the only episode I've ever seen.
Now,
I've seen a bunch of the USA, like, previews and lead-ins, and I've jerked off to Pamela Anderson more than I can imagine, but, like, this is the first episode I've just full-on watched.
Well, let's jump in. We are discussing Baywatch, episode 15 from season 6, entitled Bash at the Beach.
Oh, fucking yeah.
My friend, this episode aired on February of 1996. Let me just tell you where I was at in my fucking life in 1996.
Okay.
You said this is your first episode you saw Baywatch.
Yeah.
You never saw any other...
Nothing else.
No,
I just knew the concept and I knew the people in it.
Brother, Baywatch is a big part of my fucking life.
Yeah.
Because Baywatch was obviously a show that was in syndication. Mm-hmm. There were times that it would be on Saturday afternoons on the Fox affiliate. But then at one point in time, it was probably maybe around season 4, season 3, right when they're hitting their strides. They started syndicating on Monday nights, just after Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So my young life in 1995 consisted of watching an hour-long Monday Night Raw, going immediately downstairs to my room, watching Baywatch, and then Star Trek Next Generation.
Whoa!
That was my fucking Monday night.
That was your trifecta.
God fucking damn, it was a great fucking time to be alive. And
you should have been in bed.
Oh, God. Well, I was in bed. Because
then it got a little bit weirder when I was done, and then like I had to watch Star Trek for a while, but you get it.
And then you're seeing Diana Troy, and I'm like, all right, I'm back in.
I'm like, wow.
Beverly Crusher. Oh, the light's hitting you just right.
Getting it, girl. You get it.
God damn, I wish I was Jean-Luc Picard.
Was there a wrestling crossover between Star Trek and...
William Shatner was on Raw, and that was like my first episode of Raw that I ever saw on the USA Network, because it was we got cable in December of 1994, and I would just flip through the channels on a random Monday night when we had DirecTV, and like, holy shit, there's William Shatner. Holy shit, there's Bret the Hitman Hart. I haven't seen him in years. Holy shit, he's wrestling Double J Jeff Jarrett. Who the fuck is that?
What a weird turnout of events that has happened now to 2018.
William Shatner just did a drop kick? No fucking way! So Baywatch was a big part of my fucking life.
All right.
A very formative time in my life. But like I said, once Nitro debuted in September of 1995, that kind of fucked up the whole shuffling. But that whole beginning of 1995...
Yeah.
Prime.
Brother.
I mean, you see Raw, you see Baywatch, you see Star Trek Next Generation. I know that's just a wide variety of demographics and genres.
Sweaty dudes, girl titties, alien titties. What's up?
That's probably why I'm all over the board when it comes to musical taste, movie taste, and television taste. I'm just all over the place.
Did it all.
Just a little bit of everything.
I have a lot to make up for.
So, but I remember this episode. Finally, I remember watching it live, and I'm glad we're circling back around.
Here we are.
Because there were times where I would make a point to sneak in Baywatch between the West Coast replay of Monday Night Nitro.
Yeah.
I was still, at this moment in time, loyal to Raw.
Yeah.
And I would just flip over to Nitro, and then there was a time...
Just to kind of go,
yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and it wasn't until when the NWO happened when, Scott Hall showed up. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
This shit's real.
Yeah, and then it was all you go to Nitro, you flip over to Raw.
Yeah.
So that's how it was. And then eventually it came that you were watching Raw, but then you'd flip over to Nitro.
Yeah.
Again, that's how it happened with me.
History repeats itself.
Exactly. So I have a lot of fond memories watching Baywatch, especially with my younger sister, Darcy. We used to watch on Saturday afternoons, and... we used to do this funny thing when the intro would come on, make little snide comments. You saw the intro on this, and it'd be
it was so goddamn long.
I'll be ready, I'll be ready, and I used to make little comments and little breaks in between the song, and because they'd show a shot of fucking David Hasselhoff running on the beach, And I would, they'd be like, I'll be ready. Then a shirtless David Hasselhoff, and then I would reply back, oh, wasn't ready for that. Or they'd be like, step out into the light, and then it'd be like a shot of like Pam Anderson, and I'd be like, oh, what a light it is. Like, me and my sister
working on your hard five right then.
Me and my sister Darcy would do like a Mystery Science Theater thing every single week to Baywatch. Like we'd find a new line, a new little bit, a new little quick jab to get in there between like the song and everything like that. Like that was like our bonding.
Did.
Yeah, that's what we did. So that's why like Baywatch is like firmly
it's got a hold in your life.
In my heart. So this episode in incorporating pro wrestling, holy fucking shit. Yeah. This is the greatest thing ever to me. So it kind of surprised me that you never saw it.
Man, never. I don't know why. What
the fuck were you doing with your
I don't even remember.
The people that's...
This is a WCW kid, remember?
Oh, see.
Go. We didn't have that after that. We had probably like Thunder in Paradise sometime around here.
So you don't even you can't even guess when like this was syndicated. Like,
oh, fuck no, man.
See, your syndicators here in this area let you down.
They did.
Probably what it was? It was probably...
I knew that it was on around Raw because...
It's probably the fucking PLO was wouldn't let fucking Baywatch being syndicated because it was corrupting young minds.
Damn right. And goddamn Prime Star wasn't helping me out.
We need fucking good Christian fearing people here in the South. We don't have Pam Anderson running around on a beach.
We don't need either. And then look how we turned out.
Yeah, we ended up in the same place.
Opposite end of the spectrum, though. We switched sides.
I was allowed to see as much porn as I want. Yeah,
they made it real fucking hard.
They made it real fucking hard. We still ended in the same
Here
spot.
Here we are.
Talking about the same, basically syndicated softcore porn. All in the end.
Which, this whole episode, I don't know. I've got questions about the rest of some stuff after. But this whole episode just really... both ends of the fucking spectrum.
Oh, yeah. This
the happiest of happies and the lowest of lows.
You had to have a bit of mix, but this is a key episode because, Stephanie Holden was a major part of the fucking show, and her getting cancer was a major storyline. Even so much of a major storyline that I remember, like, Friends did a joke about it. Like Friends, the biggest show in the
of all
world,
time,
was talking about this cancer angle with Lieutenant Stephanie Holden. And make sure you call her Lieutenant.
Of course.
Put some goddamn respect on her fucking name.
Did she die?
Not because of cancer.
Oh, okay. Now I've got so many more questions. I'm just going to go back and watch the whole goddamn show.
I had to look it up because I'm like, I know she died, but I can't remember what it was. I tried to read
Shark Attack. It was crazy.
No, it was close.
Oh, fuck.
I think it was involved. They were trying to save some kids that were in a boating accident. And like a mast fell on her and she succumbed to her injuries. I read it online and I'm like, this sounds made up.
This is not real.
This is not real. But then I read another synopsis about when she used to date Hasselhoff's character, Mitch Buchanan, that they reference it where
you told me you'd never leave me.
Mitch got shot, went overboard. And they had to float around. I kind of remember that episode too.
I'm gonna have to just go back and watch all these.
There was some goddamn ridiculous, and I remember Mitch Buchanan's ex-wife dying in a plane crash.
Goddamn! Who lived?
Oh, there was some. You had to have the tragedy. Like I said, you have to. That was. I didn't realize how. I didn't realize how schizophrenic Baywatch was till I watched this episode back. Like, it just seemed normal. Like, yeah, sure, people are fucking dying, and Hulk Hogan's running on the beach like Rocky. Happiest thing ever.
You mean tell me that Van Vader crushing that child's basketball wasn't a tragedy? We had to have some cancer involved? God damn.
Yeah, it was not a light show.
Who wrote this, Russo?
They had some serious goddamn issues to get through.
All right, let's start from the beginning. Okay. Let's get going. I think we've had enough time for this can be an hour-long show.
Oh, we're already at 15 minutes.
Oh, you guys are in trouble. Taking it home now, boys.
But sometimes when we prepare less and we can just talk like this, these are some of the better episodes. So that you guys are in for a treat. That watching this,
especially if you watch the shit on fucking YouTube.
Oh, I'm gonna put this is gonna be up on the How to Skip Book website. I've been a little bit behind on getting stuff up, but this is definitely gonna be up and watched. So if you want to watch the episode, I have a feeling that most of us that are maybe listening right now vaguely remember the episode enough. They're like, let's just go ahead and jump right in.
You'll remind me.
Yeah.
Now, I had to watch this. I tried to watch it on my phone because for some reason my computer, like the YouTube on my computer, wouldn't let me watch the paper, the thing we did last time, the Night of Legends, I was able to watch it on my phone. So like, fuck it, I'll just watch Baywatch on my phone. It wouldn't register the sound. So I had to watch that on my computer. So it might be an issue with that.
The sound was a little weird in the beginning and then it leveled off. I definitely know that was a thing. But just to run over some of the people that are obviously David Hasselhoff. This is in the era when Pamela Anderson was Pam Lee.
Pam Lee.
So knowing that she's married to Tommy Lee and hearing about all the things about Bruce Pritchard talking about Pam Anderson, how she was a delight to deal with before Tommy Lee, and now seeing like how she's kind of being macked on by Hulk Hogan, like how Tommy Lee handled that. That's a fucking story I should have done a little bit more research on, but fuck it. I had to do a lot more research on the last one because I had to get 3 credible sources on a sex offender.
I mean, we could probably find 3 credible sources on a sex offender on this show somewhere.
Probably.
Real easy.
Real easily.
A whole lot easier than Spartanburg, South Carolina wrestling show.
This is true. Also, Yasmin Bleeth is on this episode.
Yes, she
There
is.
is a salacious story about Yasmin Bleeth on a certain season of Brickhouse TV. I would highly recommend that you look that up. Brickhouse Brown is going to be the topic of a 10 Bell podcast, so that's why that popped in my head. David Chokachi.
Is that a real person?
Yeah, and I remember him being on a show called I Used to Be a Teen Idol.
Remember that?
Which I think was canceled after 3 episodes.
I mean,
which is very sad and depressing for those guys because this was like their last shot at fame, and then their last shot of fame got canceled after a couple episodes.
Let me show you how it used to be over, and I'm still not over.
And I think the reason why I remember David Chokachi is because they were talking about, and this was a Jason Hervey production. Mm-hmm. And Jason Hervey was trying to get these guys to do commercials, and they were doing little bits. And David Chokachi refused to do commercials. I'm not going to do commercials. I think it's beneath me.
Yeah.
And I remember him discussing that on I Used to Be a Teen Idol, and Jason Hervey's like, hey, commercials is how I paid for a lot of shit in the beginning. Yeah. And David Chokachi's like, yeah, fucking in the beginning, not on the way down, motherfucker. So there's that. Gina Lee Nolan was credited. I don't think we saw her really in this episode.
Not in this episode, no.
No, so I remember her being, and then the other Australian guy, I think his name was Logan. They were always 2 shit disturbers. Like, they introduced them, and they were just like shit disturbers all the time. And then, of course, Lieutenant Stephanie Holden, played by Alexandria Paul. So
Gina Lee Nolan, the one that was married to like Vince Neil.
Was she?
I don't
I
think they had a sex tape.
I know Pam Anderson had one.
Oh yeah, it was with Tommy Lee.
No, that was Brett Michaels. I don't fucking know.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? Maybe I'm right.
Maybe
I'm just making shit up. Again, I watched goddamn shit.
Allegedly. Fixed it all.
There you
go.
We start off with the creepiest of situations, which, with your eyes closed, sounds like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man are just fucking somebody. Eyes open, not too different.
Yeah, not too different. They're on jet skis, racing each other,
talking mad shit.
Yeah. I love how they're racing, and then Hulk is like, "Oh, there's a pretty girl. I'm just gonna stop this intense race that I have with Macho Man.
You're cutting me off, brother."
Yeah. Oh, there's a woman for me to ogle for a while. And I was waiting for him to go, "Oh, are you Bubba the Love Sponge's wife?" But that's where we were going. And then he takes off, hits a wave, flies through the air, and they reenact the jet ski accident that happened before WrestleMania 9.
I was like, man, life imitating art imitating life.
Fuck.
You remember how you reacted that time? Do it again.
I feel like that was like Hulk's big contribution to this whole thing. And he probably fought to be a fucking, like, can I get a writing credit, brother? I came up with a story about how this happened, brother.
Put me under Terry. Put me under my real name.
Terry Bollea.
Terry Bollea. Nobody will ever do.
You know, I'm starting up Terry Bollea Productions.
It'll come on at the end of like shows like Law and Order.
Yeah, Boulder Bollea Productions.
Below a wolf.
Blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, it takes 6 women to drag Hulk Hogan out. And they make a big deal that he's like almost like a beached whale being pulled.
Yeah.
Just to be like, oh, he's so big. And we just had to get 6 women to drag him in. Just
one Hasselhoff could have done it.
Oh, yeah. And also, too, like, if he's unconscious and he's been floating out there, so they're taking all this time to swim out there.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been breathing, and then he's swimming back in, and then you do CPR on him. If I'm not mistaken, if I may need a refresher from when I got my lifeguard certification from the Boy Scouts of America. He was already in a fucking life preserver. I think they teach you how to do CPR
like in water.
I mean, obviously you can't do the chest compressions.
Yeah, but you can still do the nose and mouth. I think
you can do the nose and mouth, and that's kind of how you're supposed to drag in, is do the fucking nose and mouth. And
as you do it, yeah.
Because by the time for you to get all the way out there and get him back in, and he's so heavy that you need 6 people to lug him in, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Brain dead.
Definitely brain dead. Definitely no. Well, and it's arguably he still kind of could be.
Yeah, and also he's severely concussed.
Yeah.
From the jet ski.
From that headbutting of the ski, as they call it.
Which later he says that there was all this damage to the jet ski, but no eye.
Yeah.
No eye.
Well, that was a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
When he said that.
Oh. Okay.
He was trying to be funny for Pam Anderson.
Oh, he was flirting there.
Yes, because I
couldn't tell if he was flirting.
Because she's like, there was so much damage to the jet ski. She's like, oh, really? And he goes, no. And then she laughed. But then she said something. He goes, oh, really? And she said, no. That was the back and forth joke. What gets me is it takes them all the time to get him. They bring him back. They resuscitate him. It takes Macho Man 45 goddamn minutes to get back to shore to even check on him. And the first thing he does is start checking out tits.
Oh, yeah, look at it.
Oh, my God, yeah. You want to fight, but look at these movies, brother. Yeah.
Funny about it.
Got lust in my eyes.
Lust in my eyes.
What a shit friend Macho... I mean, history does show that anyway. But what his shit friend Macho was for
No,
us.
vice versa. Let's just talk about shit friend fucking Hulk Hogan. All right? Fucking,
He couldn't even just pop in there to help him out.
No. Like I've said before, the main tragedy that we're going through in pro wrestling is the fact that Hulk Hogan is still alive, and we don't have Roddy Piper, Macho Man, or Ultimate Warrior to call Hulk on his bullshit. That we can't let Hulkamania run wild on the history books.
Was it one black person in this show? That's probably his fault.
Well, there was. It was. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that discussion in a little bit. But I gotta say, Macho Man jumping off a fucking still sliding in jet ski, coolest fucking shit I've ever seen before in my entire life.
One step above sliding across the hood of a car.
Oh yeah, like it was still sliding, and he jumps off and like
he's ready to go.
Clench fist, like he's ready to go. Like, ooh, yeah.
Ready to fight the rest of the NWO.
And then they're like, oh, you want to fight about it? Let's just walk it off.
Yeah. Hot and cold, guys.
Just emotions are all over the place in the beginning, which sets up where we're headed on this emotional journey. Back at headquarters with Lieutenant Holden and Mitch. Talk about this romantic picnic on the beach. And this is where we start planting the seeds of finding a possible cancerous mole on Lieutenant Holden's back of her leg. So, anything else to say about that?
So they make their way to the beach. They're having this lovely little picnic. Oh, who is Mitch's
friend? Okay. Childhood friend.
Okay, so but Hoff is it's Hoff and her talking about the picnic.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, so you in love?
Which is so
kind of like a weird, creepy conversation about it.
Especially since fucking Hoff and Holden used to date.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they were a couple on the fucking show.
But the person that wrote the lines, like the wrote the script, was like trying to make them have like quippy comebacks to each other in conversation for this extremely lowbrow show. You're being very highbrow as far as these people talking to one another.
Yeah, it was a weird thing in the 90s that you could be friends with your ex-girlfriend and also like
new dude that she's fucking.
Yeah, you can be friends with him, and then also too like you're almost like better friends now. Like Jerry and Elaine.
Yeah.
They dated for a short period, but then like, oh no, we're friends now. And tell me about all the guys you're banging, which has never been the history that I've had with ex-girlfriends.
That's not how it works.
No, like I'm just like anxiously waiting them to move out. You know? Or like, I'll give you some space while I never fucking see you again. You know, all those things.
You know, the usual.
But yeah.
The normal stuff.
Apparently fucking Hoff is a good fucking friend who's an ex-boyfriend.
Totes bro.
Yeah.
Totes bro. And he was friends with the other guy too, right?
He was childhood friends.
Okay, yeah. So like, super like, oh, wait, we used to fuck. Let me tell you, buddy, she fucks.
Yeah.
Good. So, you two should totes fuck.
Yeah. Fucking.
The Hoff is a total bro.
Fucking.
And a total sis. Like, I mean, just all of it. Just helping everybody out. He just wants to sing songs on the Berlin Wall and just fucking rock.
Mitch Buchanan is your best friend and your best girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, that's just who he is.
Yeah, of course. Good for him. Good for the Hoff. No wonder he's so awesome these days.
Oh,
no wonder he's so over.
Speaking of over and awesome, how about the Hulk Hogan in all denim and blue cowboy boots?
Whoa! Those look like rain boots. He looked like a fucking Crip.
He fucking looked like he was playing Rip Thomas in this episode of Baywatch. Yeah. He's supposed to be Hulk Hogan.
This is really what got them the idea to do Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise.
Same cast and everything, really.
Yeah. Then they talk about the Venice Beach Youth Rec Center, and then they go to them working out there, and then
in their gear, they're in straight gear,
and like they're working out for a good 30 minutes, and all of a sudden, like, oh guys, let me introduce you to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
you mean this fucking guy who's been working out in wrestling gear? Let me introduce you to you.
You mean the guy over there in clothes that says Hulk Hogan on them?
He just. Oh, I didn't even see him over there. Yeah, hey, what's going on, Hulk? You fucking notice this guy wearing Macho Man on his chest?
I thought the fucking dude was like, what is the little Nate? What is his name? The ref.
Charles Robinson.
Charles Robinson. I always want to say Randy Charles for some reason. Charles Robinson. I thought that dude that like the little blonde guy with like the shirt off, looking jacked as shit. I thought that was him the whole time. I was like, "That's awesome! Way to get him a spot."
You thought Charles Robinson was David Jokic?
Yeah, man. I was like, "Yeah, way to get him a spot. Good for you, good for you guys." And it wasn't until the end where I was like, "Wait a minute, I'm Charles Robinson. Who's this asshole?"
I wish we had a far better fan base. Or a creative fan base. We might have some people out there.
Maybe we not sure ourselves.
We might have one person, or I might have to do this myself.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Photoshop version of David Chokici's body laid out, but with Charles Robinson's face on there. And just be like, way to get your boy a payday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want is
don't choke
Charles
on the chi, brother.
Robinson's face on David Chokici's body.
Make that happen.
If nobody does that,
I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself for the next episode. So there you go. Yeah, they're working out. Then all of a sudden, we go back to the Bay. I like how they go to the workout area at the Venice Beach Youth Club. Then they go to the workout area at Baywatch.
Yeah,
and you see fucking the Hoff just struggling on a stairmaster.
Yeah,
and that's
like we couldn't. Did him and like Hogan not really want to work together? They couldn't put them in the same gym.
Never in the fucking same.
No,
scene.
Exactly.
They're on opposite ends of the world.
Is there heat, brother?
That's the thing. Like we never see the Hoff stand toe to toe with Hulk Hogan.
Probably because Hoffman was probably. What if the Hoff was just taller than him? And he's like, oh, I can't be on screen with him, brother.
It's got to be something.
It's got to be something.
There's got to be a fucking story with David Hasselhoff.
Shokichi's super short, like so that would be. It's okay for him to be
just
there.
At least fucking show up.
Yeah, can you not just like slow run across the back while shit's going down?
Hey, what's going on, Hulk? I heard you got your
yeah, something.
Heard you got a jet ski accident. You okay, bud? All right, bud.
Glad to see you doing all right, Hulk. They didn't have to be on the same like. Shoot. Like it could be different camera shots.
They had to have filmed like all the fucking Lieutenant Holden and Mitch Buchanan stuff like at a different time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like kind of the way they do soap operas.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a soap opera.
Yeah.
You know, like they film all their stuff and then move on to the next stuff, and then Pam, you're going to come in and film all the stuff with Hulk for this episode.
Yeah.
You know, so. But I have to bring up. The only reason I bring up, I would skip over this scene, but I love this fucking line. Where fucking Mitch Buchanan went talking to Lieutenant Stephanie Holden, and he's like, Tom is the best dermatologist in town.
Don't you fucking argue. I know my shit.
He's the best dermatologist in town.
He's a total bro.
And we shared a milk carton together. That's how I know him. That's my bro.
I didn't get mono.
Who's your best girlfriend, Stephanie?
I would never lie to you.
I would never lie to you.
And he just starts crying. You eat chocolate together. It's cool. It's real cool.
I have to play it because it's that
best
fucking line.
Dermatologist in
town. Just Not even in California, just in town.
Yeah.
Just in town.
Come on, small pond.
Small pond. Then they go back to the youth center where a limo pulls up. And
Oh.
that's the new owner who turns out to be.
What a good fucking deal. What a great reveal.
It's Ric Flair.
Yeah, it is.
Who's rolling around with the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, who just got his fucking maniacal fucking eyebrows painted on.
Got his forehead on, but in a suit.
Yep, and Vader just chilling with him.
In a fucking basketball tank top. In what would soon become Vader's wrestling gear.
Foreshadowing there. But I just love how like, oh yeah, Ric Flair bought this property and he's gonna turn it into condos. Like, no, Flair, you buy the gym.
Yeah.
You operate the gym. The gyms slowly go out of business. You sell the gyms off to a company, and you tell that company that you own the weight equipment that's in the gym. It turns out you don't own that weight equipment. That company sues you, and they can't go after anything that you have because you're going through a divorce. But since you're drinking buddies with that said company that you sold the gyms to, they're just going to claim a lien on all the objects that you want to protect from a divorce, which just also includes the NWA title, which you then pawn off to people, but you never give a possession of those belts to anybody except for like highspots.com. Then highspots.com lists that belt online, tries to sell that belt, and then comes back. The company that bought that gym from the gyms where you bought from comes all the way back around and discloses that no, we own the belt, and then that's how it's settled. Like, I feel like that's how this whole situation.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
Hypothetically, that was a good hypothetical. That sounds like something someone would write in a script.
Yeah, so just let Flair have it. He's gonna fuck it up anyways.
Yeah, it's gonna. Don't worry, you guys will get it back.
You guys will get it back. He's just gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
Which is funny that he's like, I'm gonna go after the belt. Comes back around.
Here we are.
You're just gonna pawn that belt off, right?
So and then we're back in the gym scenario.
You're gonna mismanage this gym and you're gonna lose that belt. So Rick, it's just best that you not buy it. Actually,
Don't buy anything.
If you actually did plow over and put up condos, that would be a smarter investment. So just let Rick have this because he needs some income later in his life.
He's gonna need to come back to this.
Yes, please let him. Hulk, just let him have it.
Come on, bro.
Let him fucking have it.
See, Hulk Hogan, not a good bro.
Hulk Hogan, why don't you just open up a separate gym? Let Flair have this. Let him sell condos. This is the smartest thing he's done. Because he'll just see the gym, manage it, mismanage it, and we'll just end up in the situation I just laid out for you.
Here we are.
So, but I like how they're like, oh yeah, if you beat us like as a team, but instead of like a tag team match,
it's just 3 singles and they kind of.
No, it's 1 singles. I mean, it's 2 singles.
Yeah.
Because it's Macho Man versus Flair and Vader versus Hulk. But what happens when?
What about Kevin Sullivan? What does he get? Why didn't he get to wrestle?
But that's the thing. It's like it's a team match.
Yeah.
If you guys win, but the thing is like, well, what if Flair wins?
You go 1-1.
Yeah, we go 1-1.
That's when Kevin Sullivan comes out and he wrestles fucking Little Nate. Boom! Choking saves the day. Choking Nate saves the day.
Okay. Well, I didn't hear them say that in this discussion.
Well, I mean,
so theoretically, you could tie.
Yeah.
So theoretically,
so you could tear down half the gym, make half of a condo, still mismanage part of it.
Have a half of the world belt that you pawn off.
Your guys are co-champions, a la Jericho and China. You know.
But yeah, nobody saw that. Nobody thought that out.
No.
Like, 1-on-1. But what if you go 1-1 and then it's a fucking tie? Then it's the fucking Steelers versus the fucking Browns.
Week 1.
And people are just fucking scratching their fucking heads like, how do I feel about this?
I don't know what I do now.
And these
who's the bad here?
Yeah, who's the fucking bad person here? So, yeah, don't fucking know. Don't know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, it's not made clear.
No.
We get into the next scene where we get Mitch and Tom, where basically fucking the Hoff tries to violate doctor-patient confidentiality.
And other dude tries to convince you that he knows what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
He's wearing baggy khakis. I don't trust a doctor in baggy-ass khakis.
and I love fucking the Hoff is like off the record. That doesn't work for Doctor-Patient Confidential. That's only journalism, you fucking asshole.
You're not being interviewed by the Times.
You're not fucking Connie Chung here. Like,
off the record.
off the record.
We're just writing down shit we hear, don't we?
That's not That's not Doctor-Patient Confidentiality.
All intents purposes. We're just saying shit we hear on TV.
Come on, Tom. Rip a habeas corpus. Like, no, Tom. You're out of order.
The whole courtroom is out of order. You can't handle the truth. The Hoff just trying to get down to the bare bones. Wants to know if his old lady's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, and this it's real fucking weird.
It's real deep.
Real deep, and it's like, it's a primary spot for skin cancer in the back of the leg.
Yeah, didn't know that.
That whole scene.
Started checking my calves after this.
Might have to.
Yeah.
Might have to.
I'm checking my tits and my testicles. I gotta start checking my calves now every month.
The next thing in my notes, it says Hulk is hollering hard at Pam. I don't know where we are in the episode now, because I feel like
just feel like that's just a normal thing.
I feel like that was the whole premise of this episode.
Yeah, it's basically it.
I'm trying to figure out
some real bad shit, some real sad shit's going down, and then Hulk's just trying to fuck.
Yeah, I don't know where exactly we are. I think it was like, what if you don't win was discussed. And I've got a better question. What happens if you go one-on-one in this situation?
What happens if you tie?
And this is what she did.
Pam Anderson has to wrestle Kevin Sullivan. Man, that'd have been way better.
That'd be way better. I think Kevin Sullivan can pull that off.
Yeah, he'd sneak it out.
Yeah, I think so. This is when the fake rock falls on the kid. Now I know where we're at.
Okay.
This is when he's hollering at her when she's trying to do her job.
Yeah. And this kid almost dies because of him.
And the fakest rock in the world falls on. Like the driest, grayest fucking rock up against like these greenish, mossy looking rocks. Falling on his kids. And of course, Hulk's just coming in, and he could have just lifted the rock up a little bit.
Yeah,
and he's just like, no, brother, I need to lift this rock up above my head.
The whole rock.
And press it on the other side of this jetty.
Yeah.
Like,
here we go, watch. Mm-hmm. Flexing on him.
So, it's just like, you got to incorporate those things where Hulk Hogan looks cool. You got to incorporate.
Macho not getting shit for screen time anymore.
God damn. But here, I see why. I love Macho Man. Probably, with the exception of his performance as Spider-Man, maybe cut out for dramatic acting. Because there's a moment where Hulk is delivering a line and he's just looking. And you'd think if you're the guy standing next to him, you just kind of stand there and look. Not Macho. Macho was just looking. He's looking down at the ground, just kicking rocks.
Where the fuck's that voice coming from?
Yeah, exactly. He's just looking around as opposed to instead of just looking at him going, oh, yeah. Like, that's all you got to do, Macho. Just go there, snarl a little bit. He's just looking at the ground, kicking rocks. All right, what do I do now? Well, Hulk is delivering this line let me tell you something, brother. And then Macho's just like, oh, let me tell you something, brother.
He's reading along the lines in his head getting ready time for my line. It's almost time for my line.
Yeah, it looks just like that. So maybe that's
maybe it's for best.
Maybe he took a few acting lessons before Spider-Man, and we deserved more Macho Man then.
Yeah.
Maybe not right now, but we deserve more Macho Man in 2003.
Yeah.
So, this is where we get this Lieutenant Stephanie Holden lecture series on the beach.
Just harassing people. Walking around in a sweatsuit.
Yeah, walking around, and this is, I think, goddamn, and she's just asking is it cancer, and of course I'm just like, hey man, Tom's the best dermatologist in town.
You calm down.
Just calm down. Then we get into,
there was also a real weird red herring in there where skin cancer is 100% curable. Call it in time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, bitch is going to be fine. Yeah. We're good.
But, having a mask fall on top of you, that kills you every time.
Every single time.
Because that's how she dies.
You don't kick out of Waterworld like that.
That's how she dies. So, this is where we get to see the Hulk Hogan running montage.
Oh. Because they were like, it's time to go have our match. And they're just running across the beach. I was like, wait, is it are Are they going to wrestle, or are they having like a beach games kind of thing?
Yeah.
To save the rec center, like every 80s trope movie.
Yeah, like this is like
this is the montage time where we all rebuild the rec center so we can have the big battle of the bands.
Or you do the car wash or the bake sale
Yeah.
that makes it like that would make a little bit more sense.
So they started running. I was like, did I completely miss something? I thought we were having a wrestling match.
Like, no, let's just run on the beach and get my music in here.
And then there's like fucking kid just doing backflips at one point. Just like everybody's running by him. It's like, oh, it's my backflip time. Backflip.
And yeah, it's just, I feel like Hulk saw that guy and goes, hey, brother, we need you over here doing some backflips.
You backflip over here.
But I feel like...
Not that close to me.
This is the WCW song, obviously. This is WCW. And I would imagine that Jimmy Hart would have a hand in this song being written. Mm-hmm. I know that puts you to sleep. Me talking about
Jimmy Hart. Fucking, I was on board till Jimmy Hart's name.
Me talking about musical rights and Jimmy Hart. I know that puts you to sleep every time.
I met Jim Johnson this past weekend or whatever his name was, the guy that did the WWE music. Yeah. So I'm hard to impress me right now when it comes to music.
So knowing the way that Jimmy Hart always weasels his way into a payday, the fact that he's not really in this episode.
So you're saying it wasn't Little Nate as Shokati the whole time? It was really just Jimmy Hart as Little Nate as Shokati?
Yeah, but also too is like, hey, Hulk baby, since you are going to be on this TV show, hey Hulk baby, since you're going to be on this TV show, you think you use the song that I got the musical rights to so they can pay me for royalties? Sure, brother.
All right, Jimmy. This last time.
So Jimmy probably got a check cut to him for this. So I think that's why they played it in its entirety.
Yeah, of course.
For them to just write a fucking check to Jimmy Hart. Goddamn, like fucking Jimmy Hart probably sits on a mountain of fucking cash checks.
Just has a Game of Thrones-esque chair at home, just made out of.
Fucking Jimmy Hart is definitely Littlefinger in the world of professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
He is climbing the ladder of chaos. Working out that whole angle with him and Hulk. Like becoming his manager and getting a cut of everything that he fucking does, and just God fucking bless him for fucking game in the system
for
like
being
that.
the smartest man in the room every time.
Fuck, man, brilliant, fucking brilliant. So we have that montage. Then we go to Lieutenant Stephanie Holden being comforted by her ex-boyfriend. Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, if the Hoff can't comfort you, then who can?
This is true. I mean, Hoff. Trumps all titles in the world.
Agree.
You know, ex-boyfriend, ex-lover,
best bro, best sis,
superior. Mm-hmm. You know, that doesn't cause a problem whatsoever with the lifeguard association. You know,
hamburger enthusiast.
This international singing celebrity.
Yeah,
he transcends all of that. Like if
we don't deserve him, he's a man we don't deserve.
Yeah, exactly. If I ever get cancer, I just hope to God the Hoff is still alive to comfort me the way that he comforts Lieutenant Stephanie Holden.
He's making her feel good about it.
And he even made a promise. Nothing bad will ever happen to her. Mm-hmm. Not even getting shot and put overboard.
Not even a mask to fall upon her body.
Yeah, he didn't make that promise. He didn't make that fucking promise.
Went around for it, sorry.
He saw it shit coming. Because not only is he all those things, he's also a clairvoyant.
He is very clairvoyant.
So... that be known.
Is that when that's when Guy tells her that it is cancerous, but they need to figure out if it's spread or not?
I don't know. There's a lot.
Because then we go to the wrestling, and then we come back to the news.
Yes, I think they.
So this is where she's like, "Yeah, it's cancer, but as long as it doesn't spread, you'll be okay." Giving you more hope.
See, this is definitely a time when the Hoff needed to put his arm around Lieutenant Stephanie Holden and be like, "Don't worry. He's the best dermatologist in town." That's what you need to hear that.
Though at this point, it is sort of out of his hands. It's more in God's hands at this point, but don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, you've already taken off the mole. We've already tested it. It's not there anymore.
Just take off the leg. Fuck it. Just take a little bit more. It's just calf.
Yeah. We'll slice off.
They're baloney. Anyway.
Oh, whatever.
So then we go to the wrestling, right?
Wrestling. This is where we get to see all the promos. I feel like this is the point where, like...
Guys, we got to kill some time. Let's get it in.
A little bit, but I also feel like they demanded this or they did this and like, hey, we're going to do this all in one take. And they just cut a promo and then all the production people are like, wow, this is great. They cut this interview in one take. They didn't have to get multiple takes. Or they wanted them to do multiple takes with different angles. And they're like, no, don't work for me, brother. Like, I don't know which direction.
Who was the prima donna here?
Yeah, well, exactly. I don't know which direction they went with this because obviously, as far as the matches go, they had extra cameras during the Bash at the Beach pay-per-view, which happened in, I got it down here. It happened in July 16th of 1995, and this episode, of course, didn't air till February of 1996. But obviously, they knew exactly where they were going with this whole angle. So, like, let's get this footage right now. And the cameras were like, they had one at ringside, they had one really far away. But they also did some reshoots. Mm-hmm. If you can tell, like, there's certain times where they're in close, where angles where you wouldn't see a crowd whatsoever. So there's a couple like punches with Ric Flair and Macho Man like kind of close and stuff like that. But they do have extra cameras out and around and stuff like that. And I meant to fucking watch this on the network, but I ran out of time because, like I said, I had to do research to check and see if the topic of our last discussion or our last episode was a known sex offender. So. And not just alleged. No,
he was known.
He was known. That's the one time.
3 sources.
On all of my podcasts where I don't have to say allegedly. Mm-hmm. Known, convicted.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Did it. Ooh, we don't say it like that.
But I like how they really didn't make mention of the challenge being a lumberjack match. They didn't put that over at all. And
that would have just confused the non-wrestling fan.
Yeah. But, the surprise cage match.
Yeah. It just happens. When I first saw that, I was like, how the fuck did they get this cage up so quickly? There's not a goddamn show in the world where that would occur.
Oh, that's the thing. Like, a surprise cage match, the cage would have taken 20 minutes to put up. Mm-hmm. In certain cases, maybe less for a high-dollar organization for WCW, obviously. Mm-hmm. But that still gives you about, 10 minutes?
Still.
8-10 minutes? Brother. Hulk just needs 3 minutes to politic himself out of a cage match.
Yeah, won't take me long at all, brother.
You can't put Baby or Hulk Hogan in a corner politically. So,
especially in a cage.
Especially in a cage. You just can't do it. And we see I'll have to check the pay-per-view, but I think this is the case that Hulk came out with a bunch of just random women who were blondes in Baywatch outfits or Baywatch-esque outfits.
A whole bunch of CJs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost like body doubles for Pam Anderson in a sense. So you kind of think that is her, but it's far enough. That's why they shot so far away in the entrances. And also, too, Dennis Rodman randomly walking to the ring.
What's up, guys? Oh, the worm's there.
Yeah, like you see him there on the entrance because he was definitely on Bash at the Beach 95, but made no mention of it.
Probably just filmed it on the same day. It just when it happened to come out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they did.
Yeah,
that's the thing. There's no acknowledgement of him being there. It's almost like the people who filmed the Baywatch episode, like, oh shit, Dennis Rodman
accidentally got Dennis Rodman in this.
Yeah, and like, oh man, we would have to fucking pay him for this, and I know you'd make a big deal. Like, no, just keep it quiet. Maybe he'll never. Maybe Dennis Rodman won't find out he's on the biggest show in the entire world at this time.
Yeah.
Maybe
he doesn't watch.
Let's just hope. Now, I'm gonna post this obviously on our Facebook page. How did this get booked? But I made mention to the reshoots, and I'm gonna show you this.
Okay.
Because this is quite comical.
Okay.
So, as we've stated, Hulk Hogan and Vader is a match that takes place in a cage. Mm-hmm. Takes place in a cage. At Bash at the Beach 95. Yeah. That for sure happens.
Yes.
And you clearly see wide shots and close-up angles of them in a cage. Okay. And a cage, how many sides are in a cage match?
4 usually.
4, and it goes all the way around the ring?
Yeah.
The cage is...
Like a square, almost. Cubesque.
Yes, exactly.
Minus the top.
Because you're enclosing the combatants in the ring.
Some would say you're caging them in.
Caging them in for certain sort of stipulation reasons. Yes. They're in the cage. Now, like I said, there were reshoots. Yeah. And how I can recognize that they're reshoots because there are certain moments where the fucking cage isn't there.
Where's the cage at? Where's that part of the cage?
There are moments, I'm showing Zane right now.
It is a picture of Hulk Hogan doing something in the face of Vader. And on to his right is part of a cage. And behind him, the bluest of skies.
Bluest of skies.
And no cage.
This, I will put this up on, obviously, my Twitter, @ManScoutManning, and my Instagram, @ManScoutManning, and the How Did This Get Booked Facebook page. I will put it up before this episode obviously comes out, but it's up there right now, so I highly recommend that you take a look at that.
Give that a peeker.
Give that a look. But there are certain reshoots where they make point to have the cage in there, but this one snuck it into the episode.
Just got it in there.
So I had to get a screen cap of that. Thought that would be quite interesting.
It was a very good one.
So they also have like a really cool overhead shot, which I think might have been a reshoot. I don't know.
Because WCW would have done that.
Yeah, like it was a really cool like overhead shot, and it looked like something that Baywatch got in a reshoot. And they made sure that the side that they sent him to had the cage there, but the other sides were too tight that you couldn't see. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like they didn't have like fuck it, we don't need all the cage. You see a few pieces.
Part of it.
And definitely on that shot they did not.
No one's ever gonna notice.
You don't see the pinfalls also in either one of these matches.
You don't want to give it away for free.
And you definitely won't see a pinfall on the cage match because Hulk Hogan won by escape, not by pinfall.
Yeah, like a coward.
Yeah, and also too.
Which, if anything from here, he could have just walked out of the ropes.
Yes. Yeah, he could have just walked out of the ring.
Yeah, just kind of.
According to the reshoots.
Later essay.
And Leon wasn't going to keep his shoulders flat to that for Hulk this time.
Mainly because it's hot as shit outside. It's probably really hot.
Oh yeah. If anybody knows anything about like wrestling out in direct sunlight, that canvas gets really hot. Especially when George South used to have an all black canvas.
Yeah.
The fucking worst. But yeah, Hulk won actually his match at Bash of the Beach by going over the top of the cage. Another funny thing about this entire episode, this episode came out a month after fucking Vader was in WWE. So he wasn't even in WCW when this episode came out.
No, just preparing.
So
he'll be real hot shit in a couple months, guys. Go ahead and get him in here.
Exactly. So I think that was pretty funny there. But I feel like, and then of course after the match, Flair hands over the deed to the youth center, and I feel like this is where Flair understands about contracts. The possession is 9/10 of the law.
So that's how you know it's fictional.
Wait, so like he's like, hey, I'm gonna give you this NWA belt, and this is collateral fraud. Like I feel like this is where he learned that lesson. Yeah, and then we got. Yeah, just fucking, and then we get the slow zoom out with Lieutenant Stephanie Holden, her ex-boyfriend and her current boyfriend.
Just love hugging because she finds out that it did spread.
It did spread. Like I said,
don't know where.
It just did. This is a key episode.
Yeah.
In the history of
the tides have turned.
This is true. So you said this is your first episode of Baywatch. Does this encourage you to see more Baywatch?
Oh, I fucking have to now. I've got to know how this goes. Like, I know the payoff, but I got to see it.
Oh, I want to go back and I remember it being a whole struggle of her going through cancer, and there were a lot of like false finishes on her possibly dying. Like, it was pretty dramatic television.
Yeah.
And then of course, like they just kill her off eventually, but that's like several seasons later. Like they milked this whole cancer thing for a while. But then
my whole thought was like, they're gonna say she has cancer, so she's eventually gonna die off this show. But goddamn, how long will they drag it out? Like, because usually, like when someone dies, it's over like contract issues.
Well,
like,
and
let's get you the fuck out of here now.
And this is a soap opera, so they're gonna drag it out.
Man, you're just gonna spend 4 years dying. Like, how's this gonna work?
It's something. It's gone. It's back. I think there's a little bit of that going on. And like, I don't want to start my life with you, Tom, with me having cancer, or I think there was something along. And then there's a thing like, oh, I might still love you, Mitch. And then if you go back to those episodes when it was Lieutenant Stephanie Holden having this relationship with Mitch Buchanan and that whole drama, and then if you go back even further to, I think they had like the rookie school thing with Pamela Anderson's character coming up, like, oh, will she make it in or make it or not? I think Yasmin Bleeth was I can't remember what she was, either Stephanie Holden's sister or cousin. I can't remember what the relationship was. I didn't care enough to do the research on that because, well, like I said, I had to do research on something else today.
Had to look at pedophile stuff.
I had to go down a much darker path. So it was nice to talk about something bright and sunnier and step out into the light because I'll be ready. Yeah. So, any other thoughts about this episode?
It's good. It was fucking good, as in, like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening right now?
I forget. Like, I always took fucking Baywatch as just as dramatic and well put together television as Homicide: Life on the Street.
Yep. That tracks.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, something that's like Emmy Award winning, like Barry Levinson produced, and also too like fucking Nash Bridges wasn't a fucking dramatic gem either, so like regular fucking broadcast television wasn't producing shit that's much better. Like you look back at those old A-Team episodes, you're like, holy fuck, did a fucking paranoid schizophrenic write these fucking episodes? So Baywatch.
How does this even work?
So Baywatch looks like a fucking far better dramatic piece of television.
Yeah.
And you look back at those old TV shows and you realize how bad the fucking writing was, but everything was bad everywhere.
Yeah.
So you didn't fucking notice it.
Yeah, until now it should end up hold.
But now, after you've been watching fucking 7 seasons of Game of Thrones, you realize this shit is dog crap. So that's why it's funny when people bitch about episodes of Game of Thrones or Westworld. Like, oh,
bitch, have you ever seen Baywatch?
Bitch, have you ever seen an episode of A-Team? Like, that was a fucking dramatic work of art. Get the fuck out of here. So, yeah, did you not see the fucking plane crash episode with fucking Mitch's ex-wife and poor Hobie's looking over his possibly dead mother? Like, you can see how dramatic that shit was?
Get together, guys.
Get together, guys. Get over it. But, yeah, anything else we can say about this?
Man, I think we did it. I think we've talked about it more than it was on.
Definitely, because it was only 42 minutes. We were talking for 55 minutes.
Hey, we did it, kid.
I thought about saving this for a live episode or something like that, but I was like, nah, let's just go ahead and talk about this. Let's get it in. Let's squeeze this one in here. We can watch a 42-minute episode.
And seriously, like, when the fuck are we ever going to do another live episode?
Well, there's talks.
I know.
There's talks, so if there's any inkling of what we want to talk, I'm thinking like maybe like a Hulk Hogan movie.
Yeah.
Like a Suburban Commando,
we can find something.
Mr. Nanny, something along those lines. And just do what we do. Yeah. But no, I enjoyed going down memory lane for me.
That was a good. I enjoyed going down a new street.
There we go. So, this episode is going to release the September 27th.
Okay.
So, I will actually be in the middle of the Queen City Comedy Experience, which is a Charlotte-based comedy festival. So if you're in the Charlotte area this weekend, make sure you show up and see some shows. The comedian who was on our last episode, Jason L. King, will be performing on a lot of shows. Also, Brian Regan, Jay Farrow, Janine Garofalo, and I think Rob Schneider will all be like the big headliners for this comedy festival. And also John.
Where's this at?
This is in town.
Where?
Like the Blumenthal.
Okay, cool.
Like they've got like a bunch of different theaters all over the place. Blumenthal, the Belk Theater. Also, John Reap will be at the Comedy Zone, and that's kind of part of the festival as well. So a lot of big names coming into town here in Charlotte. So if you're listening to this at a timely fashion and you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, make sure you show up and check out one or two or all of the shows at the.
Or you just want to travel in and see some good comedy.
Yeah, if you live close by, come on in to Charlotte, North Carolina for the Queen City Comedy Experience. And then next month I got a bunch of comedy shows that you can hear about through my Twitter and all that stuff. And I'll be in Portland October the 8th. So if you listen to this in Portland, and I'll be at the Alkaline Trio concert.
There you go.
I'll be doing an open mic the night before. But if you live in Portland, just give me a shout out, man. I'll be around. Maybe we'll do something, hang out. Maybe have a voodoo donut or something like that.
Something like that. Maybe a beer.
Maybe a beer. Place. Yeah, maybe I'll have a beer. Maybe I'll splurge and have a beer out in Portland.
There you go.
Maybe I'll do that.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, why wouldn't I? So, but just follow me at ManScoutManning on Instagram and Twitter. I got a lot of comedy shows coming up, especially that first week of October. So, what do you got, Zane?
Not a whole bunch. As I said in the last episode, it's going to be Renfest this coming up weekend. So I'm just going to be fucked up on pumpkin beers for the next 3 months.
Huzzah
to the tipper, motherfuckers. I will have AML Wrestling in Durham, North Carolina on the 29th. And then next month I have a real light October. I don't know why. It seems like every October is my lightest month. And I'm not really trying to book stuff. But yeah, it just works out. I don't really have a lot. I've got like one PWF Hubert show. And then the 26th and 27th, I will be doing Spooky Empire as part of the FSCW does a Universal Studios deal. I don't know if I'm wrestling. I think I'm just going to go down and hang out.
I will be there. I will be wrestling at Spooky Empire. I'll also be wrestling at Fest, I believe the 28th.
Okay.
Is that Sunday?
Sunday.
Yes. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Wrestling Revolver back in Des Moines, Iowa. October the 20th. I'll be returning to Des Moines, Iowa, so make sure you check that out. Wrestling Revolver. That's always a big show. I'll be wrestling Colt Cabana there because we haven't seen that match enough.
Yeah, right?
But
I'll probably be wrestling Colt Cabana in some fashion at Fest as well.
So, yeah, I'll probably be doing that as well. But I'll have some surprises for old Scott Colton this time.
Old Coltsky.
Old Coltsky. Anything else? I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good. And thank you to everybody who's been writing reviews. And thank you to everybody that gives us feedback on the shows. Even if you're like, hey, enjoyed the episode, or hey, go fuck off and die.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah. Make sure you.
How dare you talk so happily about people with cancer?
Exactly. Why talk about cancer with such a smile on your face?
Yeah.
Fucking Lieutenant Stephanie Holden is a fucking national treasure. Fuck off. If you want to tweet that, tweet me at Manscout Manning or email me at jake@sslshow.com. Make sure you go on to howdidthisgetbooked.com. That's where we're selling t-shirts, but you can get a t-shirt by leaving a review on iTunes and Stitcher. But I also have my personal merch up there at howdidthisgetbooked.com. I've got limited sizes left in my t-shirts, so if you want a Manscout Manning t-shirt or an Undertaker t-shirt, make sure you log on to howdidthisgetbooked.com. Make sure you continue to subscribe, download, write reviews, all kinds of things on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, and wherever podcasts are available. This has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Ooh.